Oh shit. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Give me a chance to share to some groups. Let's see. All right. Hey, Yanni. Hey. All right, people. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am on my morning walk, and I just want to give you a word today. Give you some things to think about. The thing that came to mind for me this morning is habit. Good morning. Taking a look at the habits that you have. A lot of people ask the question, when you hear people talking about being conscious, and consciousness and being woke and all of that stuff. And I can't really speak to what everybody else does and says, but what I've discovered for me is really about waking up to yourself. That's the first place to start. Becoming aware of yourself, becoming aware of what you got going on and why. So today I'm challenging you to go, be mindful, become aware of your habits. What are you doing habitually and why? So as I was thinking about this, something came to mind when I was a child, I don't know, maybe a teenager or something, sitting in church. Oh, give me a second, y'all. Let me stop for a second. Sitting in church, and I heard either the pastor or somebody teaching Bible study, Sunday school, something, share this story. Hopefully I get it right, but you'll get the gist of the point that I'm trying to make. The point is that, there was a mother and a daughter, and the mother was teaching her daughter how to cook a roast. She was sharing the family recipe of how to cook the roast. And so she's telling her about all of the seasonings that she needs and talking to her about how to prepare the roast. And one of the steps was she cut the roast in half. Hi, Michael. She cut the roast in half, pot. And so the daughter was an excellent student. She learned the lesson about how to cook the roast in the family way. And so years later, following suit, she passes the recipe on to the next generation. Her daughter is now standing in her kitchen asking her to teach her about making a roast. And so the mother goes on to share, here are the ingredients, this is what you need to do, this is how you prepare the roast, and you have to cut it in half, and you take this piece and put it off to the side. And the daughter says, why, mama? Why do we do that? And it was in that moment that the mother realized that she had no idea why she was doing it. Well, I think the answer that she gave was, because my mama told me this is how my mother did it. And because the daughter challenged the thought, she called her mother and asked her mother why. So, Mom, why do we cut the roast in half and then put this off to the side? And the mom said, because my pot was too small, it couldn't handle the whole roast. Light bulb moment goes off, because the daughter in her kitchen, she's got a pot big enough to hold the whole roast. So all this time she's been on autopilot, just doing what her mother told her, doing and rehearsing the patterns that she had taught. She took them on as truth. And so Now that she came into this level of awareness of why the pattern existed and understood that in her current circumstances, that pattern is no longer applicable. Now, if she wants to keep cutting the roast in half and putting a piece to the side, then she can do that. You know, maybe she's creating a second meal. I don't know. But the fact that she has what she needs now to cook the whole roast and enjoy the full roast instead of a portion of it, it changed the game. And so with that level of awareness, she can now do something different. She can pass on the wisdom now to her daughter, and her daughter doesn't have to take on that pattern if she doesn't want to. So for you, I want to challenge you guys to think in the same terms. Like, what are you doing habitually, and why? It's time to bring consciousness to these things. It is time to bring consciousness to these things. Are you just putting off half of the roast out of you know, just being unaware, just being unconscious, not understanding why? Today, as you move through the day, I want you to pay attention to your habits. Start questioning them. Why are you doing this? What is it serving? Is it serving anything? Can you let this go? Is this tying you to some, you know, some BS, some bullshit that you don't even need anymore? Is it keeping you preoccupied? Is your energy being invested in this habit, and that's keeping you from utilizing that energy to further your vision? You need to get clarity about why you're doing what you're doing. That is the first step in your consciousness, becoming conscious and aware of you and why you do what you do. And is it serving what you're up to? That's where you need to go. That is where you need to go, because I can tell you right now, just from in my life, I understand that the pots from generations before, they were much smaller. We got bigger pots, people. We got bigger pots. We can do more. We can be more. We can have more. We can contribute more. So stop selling yourself short. Stop cutting yourself off. Stop putting off, you know, till tomorrow what you could handle today. Stop putting half your meal in the garbage because you're following an old paradigm. Hell, mama done went and got a new damn pot. She ain't even cutting the roast no more and putting it on the side. Why are you? Why are you? And I love that story because it speaks to the ancestral energy. Many of us are doing things out of habit that are ancestral in nature, because the ones that came before us did it. And maybe they were questioning other things, and this is the thing that you get to question, because every generation is responsible for moving the generation forward. So your mother's generation and your grandmother's generation, they had other things that they were moving us forward with. Now it's your turn. Challenge that shit and figure out whether or not it's really serving you and what it is that you are up to, and determine whether or not there's a better way to do it, a more conscious way to do it. Sometimes the consciousness part of it is just the energy that you're operating in when you do it. You might look at it and say, you know what, I really do need to do this. But I've been doing it with resentment. I've been doing it out of angst. I've been doing it in anxiety. And maybe I need to be doing it in celebration and joy and praise. I don't know. That's up for you. That's up to you to figure out, as the divinity, as the divine one, as the creator and the creatrix in your life. Stop and get clear about your fucking habits. And then guess what? If you don't like it, if it's not working, if it's no longer applicable for the circumstances that you are currently in, or the circumstances that you are currently cultivating, then guess what you get to do? Create a new one. Create a new habit. Create a new habit. And let me tell you something else. Don't do the self-sabotaging thing of thinking that you're going to change your mind about something today and then tomorrow is going to be operating within you perfectly. That's bullshit. It's a lie. It's another way to keep yourself small. It's another way to keep yourself stuck. It's another way to keep yourself, you know, right about whatever the bullshit is you're telling yourself about yourself. Work with yourself. Be patient. Put the thing in place. You might get it one day, shift that habit and do something else, and then 2 days later you're back in it. That's because you've been sitting in that energy for a long fucking time. So when you realize that you're off your game, get back on it. Get back on it and keep doing it. They say it takes 21 days to change a habit. What they don't tell you is how many false starts you have before you get to that 21 days. So give yourself grace, give yourself patience, but bring consciousness and awareness to what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're creating, what it is that you're up to. I love you. Peace and blessings, gods and goddesses. You are the divine ones. Live like it.